Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you for being here with us. I'm excited to welcome in Shabbat with you all and with Josh, our artist in residence. Thank you for being here. As we let go of all the work we did during the week and get prepared to welcome in Shabbat, take a few breaths together. And I want to share a prayer written by Rabbi Naomi Levy for Shabbat, for a day of rest. I long to change the world, but I rarely appreciate things as they are. I know how to give, but I don't always know how to receive. I know how to keep busy, but I don't know how to be still. I talk, but I don't often listen. I look, but I don't often see. I yearn to succeed, but I often forget what is truly important. Teach me, God, to slow down. May my resting revive me. May it lead me to wisdom, to holiness, to peace, and to you. Amen. As we spend this next hour-ish together, I hope that the words of our tradition and the music helps to revive you and bring you a peaceful Shabbat. We are going to begin tonight with Hine Matov. Please join with us.
Shabbat Shalom, how lovely it is to sit together in person or in spirit, brothers and sisters. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, 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 shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, hine matov, ya la la, ya la 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 la. Hine matov, hine matov, ya la la, ya la. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
And we move from Hine Matov right into Lechado D, our prayers that are all about welcoming in the spirit of Shabbat. Let's join together.
Alecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmianu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemu tiferet v'letzila. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, oh likrat Shabbat, hitoreri, והאורך קומי אורי אורי שיר דברי כבוא אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. And we'll get up and stand. בואי ושלום עטרת בלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמונה עם סגולה. בואי ושלום בואי כלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
We'll continue now with Shalom Aleichem, welcoming in the angels into our space.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Ashare, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni leshalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. זדכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי העליון. מי מלך, מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. לה 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 ya la 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 ya la sing along at home ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la ya la la ya da 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 HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
And during our Kabbalat Shabbat portion of our service, we welcome in Shabbat officially with our three blessings over the candles, the wine, and the challah. So we'll start with our candle blessing. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Candles there. I'll keep them on the table for safety. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadikner shel Shabbat. And our blessing over the wine, Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borek peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kadsho b'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit. Ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim kivanu v'chata yotanu kidasha mikol hamim v'shabbat kodecha v'ahava u'ratzon Haltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
L'chaim.
And we'll join together in Hamotzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lecha min haaretz v'te'avam. If you are enjoying a Shabbat meal right now, I hope you are having a tasty meal, hopefully with some challah, te'avon. We are going to continue with the Ma'ariv section of our service, the Ma'ariv, the evening section, which is also known as the Shema and its blessings, beginning with the Baruch Hu, which is our call to worship, and then moving on to our prayers, blessings that are all about love in the context of a relationship with God and with Torah. If you are able, please rise as we join together.
Yalla la la la, 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 yalla la la la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? La la la, ya la 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 la. Barechu et Adonai, Amen. night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Roll, here we go. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Last time. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into night. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Baruch atah Adonai, Amaravim Aravim. We turn now to the Shema. Our central prayer reminds us the importance of listening, so much so we cover our eyes to enhance our sense of hearing. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך. ושנתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לראות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם Me'eretz Mitzrayim Li'ol bachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. We're going to continue with Micha Mocha, our prayer of redemption and freedom, reminding us that we all have Mitzrayim, a narrow places that confine us that we're trying to break free from. So we join together thinking about what is enslaving us this Shabbat that we need to break free from.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Yalalai, 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 yalalai. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ha. Ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilo osefele, nora tehilo. Osefele, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, hi, ya la 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 la. Like you, Adonai. Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilo osefele, nora tehilo osefele. Last time, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Our next prayer is Hashkivenu, which has a lot of beautiful imagery about protecting, asking God to protect us, to put a sukkah shalom, a shelter of peace over us, to protect us under the wings of God. And I think there's a lot in that notion that's important. But one thing I don't necessarily love is that it sort of sets up this mindset that the world is a scary place that we always need to be protected from. And so just before we start our prayer tonight, I want to point to one line that we don't often say because the melodies that we sing together just don't have this line in it of the full prayer. But farther down in Hashkivenu, after we're asking for God to protect us from illness, war, from our enemies, there's this one line that also says, distance us from wrongdoing. So there's this idea that, on the one hand, the world is a scary place and we seek shelter. And At the same time, we also need help protecting, in a way, ourselves from ourselves, protecting ourselves from being drawn into hurting other people, from hardening our hearts. And so as we sing, we're going to do a little mashup version of this. So focusing not just on asking God for protection from the outside forces, but also how we can look inward towards ourselves and how we're acting in the world.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Hamidenu shomrei nu lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Hamidenu shomrei nu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Hamidenu shomrei nu lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Hamidenu shomrei nu lechaim Ushmor tzeitenu Lechaim u'shalom me'atah v'yad olam. Sometimes I lay under the moon and I thank God I'm breathing, and I pray don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Hamidenu shomrei nu lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Hamidenu shomrei nu lechaim.
We are going to move into the Amidah now, which is, in a way, the most personal part of our prayer experience, because we'll start together as one community and then we continue silently praying whatever is in our hearts this Shabbat. I want to share a little piece written by Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. He wrote, "Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will." We're going to join together in the first line of our Amidah, and if you're able, please rise, and then we'll continue silently.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi Adonai, open up my lips that Oh, say shalom bimroma. Huya say shalom aleinu. Ve'ako Yisrael. Ve'ako yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru. Say shalom bimroma. Huya say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru. La la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Huya say shalom aleinu. Ve'ako Yisrael. Ve'ako yoshvei tevel. Ve'inu. Oh, amen. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Huya say shalom aleinu. Ve'ako Yisrael. Ve'ako yoshvei tevel.
We move from our prayer asking God to help us create peace in the world. We move to Misha Berach, our prayer asking for God to help us find strength and courage and healing for our loved ones who are in need of renewal and health. And that in its way is a different form of shalom, of completeness. This Shabbat, we're praying for the healing of Valentina Darakovsky, Azrael Early, Rohan Early, Tara Landry, Myra Masig, Patricia Shapiro, Orly Zerman, Amy Thornton, Deborah Newman Ziz-Castengay, Lindsay Robinson, Laura Armstrong, John Levy, Stacy Hetzel, Diane Turner, Michael Sirkenpool, Jacqueline Tara Smith, Kalina Suzawa, Deborah Rose, Sid Rubin, Liliana Oxsmith, Hans Weil, Sylvia Brown, Phil Grinker, Bill Marmion, Jeff Finn, Benjamin Dominitz, Terry Callett, and Pam Shane Johnson. If there is somebody that you're praying for this Shabbat, I invite you to share the name out loud or keep it in your heart. If you are joining us via Facebook, feel free to share who you're thinking of in the chat as we join together in our prayer for healing.
מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב שרה רבקה רחל ולאה הוא יברך וירפא את החולים שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב שרה רבקה רחל ולאה הוא יברך וירפא את החולים אל נא Rafana la, Elna Rafana la, Elna Rafana la, Elna Rafana la, Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham Yitzchak Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah Hu Yevarech V'yirapeh Et HaCholim Hu Yevarech V'yirapeh Et HaCholim
May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. Amen.
Amen.
I want to share this Shabbat a story that I learned from Cantor Ellen Dreskin, who is a wonderful teacher and storyteller. There was once a man who lived in a relatively small town, and he had the utmost respect for his rabbi. So much so that he could hardly even get up the courage to speak to the rabbi from week to week. But finally he decided, I really want to have the rabbi over for dinner, so I need to be able to talk to her. So he approached the rabbi after a class one day and said, Rabbi, would you please do me the honor of dining with my family this Friday for Shabbat? And the rabbi said, of course, I would love to. Thank you so much for asking. And so the man hurried home to his husband and his children, and I imagine that this is kind of like the very first scene in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel when they they get the rabbi and they come and they're like, we got the rabbi. So he hurries home and he's like, it happened. The rabbi's coming to our house for dinner this Friday. Okay. All right, guys, we have 3 days to prepare. So we got to have our house shining from top to bottom. Kids, grab your finest clothes. We'll wash them. We'll make sure we get out all the wrinkles. We got to look good because the rabbi is coming to our house. Honey, he said to his husband, we need to clean the house. You are an excellent cook, so I want you to make the best food. This has to be great because the rabbi's coming to our house. So the 3 days went by. They were busy. Everybody pitched in, preparing, and the house looked great. The kids looked great, and the food looked great. Everything was great. And just before sunset, the rabbi arrived at the front door. She hung up her coat on the hook, and the man escorted the rabbi to the place of honor at the head of the dinner table. And since it was Shabbat, of course, they had to say the blessings before they could eat their meal. So first they said the blessing over the candles, which was so beautiful. The children's eyes were shining in the light of the candles, and the man was so proud that the kids were on their best behavior in front of the rabbi. And then they had the blessing over the wine. Oh, sweet wine, sweetest wine they've ever tasted. And the melody of Kiddush was so beautiful. They were all singing. And as they were singing, like halfway through the Kiddush, all of the color drained from the man's face as he looked towards the middle of the table. And he saw that there was no cover on the challah. He's like, oh my gosh, what is the rabbi going to think of me and my family? So he's like staring at this challah. He's getting that look in his eyes. And so his husband notices that he's looking at the challah. And so he also starts to look at the challah. And then he understands and he realizes that he forgot to cover the challah. And then pretty soon everybody's just looking at the challah with no cover on it. And Kiddush comes to an end. And there's an awkward silence. And the man turns to his husband and says, Josh, we had 3 days to make this the perfect Shabbat dinner. And I have been waiting. You know, I've been waiting years to work up the courage to ask the rabbi to come and have Shabbat dinner with us. And you were responsible for the food, and you were responsible for setting the table. And look what you've done. You forgot to cover the challah. I cannot believe it. You know what? No, I can believe it because this is so typical of you. And the man completely lost it. And he was like berating his husband. And the husband got up and left the table because he was being yelled at. And he just followed his husband right into the kitchen and was yelling at him. He was so upset that basically the whole dinner was ruined. Well, while he was in the kitchen yelling at his husband, he hardly even noticed that the rabbi stood up. And he started walking to the door. And the last minute, he noticed that the rabbi was about to leave, and he ran over to the door. He's like, Rabbi, please, 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 don't let this be the reason that you leave our home this Shabbat. Please, I'm so sorry that my husband forgot to cover the challah, but we can fix this. And the rabbi said to the man, I'm not leaving your house because Josh forgot to cover the challah. I'm leaving your house because you clearly don't know why we cover the challah at all. And the man responded, no, of course, I know why we cover the challah. Come on, Rabbi, like even my kids know why we cover the challah. Tell the rabbi, kids. Tell the rabbi why we cover the challah. And so the children come over and they're like, we know we cover the challah because we say the other blessings first. We bless the candles and we bless the wine, and the challah comes last. And so we don't want the challah to feel bad because it's the third thing being blessed. So we cover the challah to protect its feelings. And the man's like, you see, we know why we cover the challah. And the rabbi looked at the family and said, well, no, I mean, yes, but no, that's only part of it. We do cover the challah so that we don't hurt the challah's feelings. But the point is that if we're going to worry so much about the feelings of a loaf of bread, an inanimate object, then how much more careful should we be about not hurting each other's feelings? And after hearing the way you treated your husband, I just don't think you really get it. That's why I can't stay at your Shabbat table. And with that, the rabbi put on her coat and she left the house. Well, the man slowly returned to the table and he sunk down in his chair. He was embarrassed and ashamed. And his husband came out of the kitchen looking dejected and said, "I'm so sorry. I made such an enormous mistake." And the man said, "No, I should be apologizing to you. I cannot believe I spoke to you that way. And in front of other people, in all our years together, I've never talked to you like that. I don't know what got into me. I'm so embarrassed." The rabbi was right. I don't know much about anything if after all these years, after knowing how much I love you, I could have spoken to you that way. Can you please forgive me? And of course, they forgave each other. And so several weeks went by, and after a few weeks, the man approached the rabbi again, and he said, "Rabbi, I thought a lot about what you said, and you have taught me a really important lesson. Will you please come back to our house for another Shabbat? And I promise that you will find it filled with the love and the spirit that you should find when you enter a home." I really enjoy this story. It's a simple story. It's a little like, it could be I don't know, on ABC Family or something like that. But but I think it reminds us that even the best of us, sometimes we get so like concerned and hyper focused on like one issue that we sort of lose sight of what's actually important. And I'm sure that you can all think of examples, whether it's, I don't know, whose turn it was to wash the dishes or a moment of road rage. I know this happens all the time in Jewish life, like getting so concerned about the letter of the law that we sort of lose perspective of the spirit of why we're doing something in the first place. This happens to all of us. So this Shabbat, this is our last Shabbat before we enter the month of Elul. And the month of Elul kicks off this countdown to the High Holy Days, to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And it's meant to be a month of spiritual preparation. We are supposed to take time every day during the month of Elul to prepare ourselves for Rosh Hashanah. Because on Rosh Hashanah, we're supposed to take account of our lives, be really honest with ourselves about where we've missed the mark. But it's hard to do that just on a whim. It's hard to just sit down and be like, I'm going to do teshuvah now and be really reflective. It's something that we have to take the time to set up for ourselves if we want to do it right. And so it's helpful sometimes to have a plan to do those things. That's why we have the month of Elul. So over the next week, as we approach the month of Elul, I want to encourage you to think ahead to the next month and plan for yourself how you want to use this month for reflection, so that when we get to Rosh Hashanah, then we're really ready to take on the challenge of filtering out the distractions in life that steal our attention, and to focus on what really matters, so that together as one community we can refocus and turn our energy to what's behind all the rituals and the prayers that we have about High Holy Days, what really matters, which is what type of person we want to be in this world. Shabbat Shalom. And before we turn quickly to our prayers, back to our prayers, I have just a few quick announcements. To that end, if you are available and inclined, I would really encourage you to join Amy McGinnis. Amy is teaching a class during the month of Elul I believe, 4 sessions. And the first one is going to be next Friday after Shabbat services. And then after that, it'll be on Thursdays. You can get the details in the weekly email. And it's focusing all on one psalm, Psalm 27. And that is a psalm that our tradition tells us we're supposed to reflect on during the month of Elul. So I encourage you to participate in that class with Amy. And watch your newsletters for some information about preparing for the High Holy Days as a community. We're going to have a drive-through opportunity to drive through without getting out of your cars, the synagogue, and pick up some goodies for the High Holy Days and hear the shofar blast, and wave to some people that you probably haven't seen in person in a really long time. So looking forward to that, and there's more to come. Last thing really quickly, if you are interested in teaching elective for spiritual electives on Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur, we're looking for people to help teach during the times in the afternoon between 1 and 4. And if you have something that you would like to teach the congregation, I can almost guarantee that the congregation wants to learn from you. And it could be something spiritual. It could be something we're focusing a lot on social justice issues, specifically racial justice. So if you want to teach on any topic related to that, we would love to learn with you and from you. So you can find more information about all of those things in our emails. We are going to turn back to our service now and continue with Aleinu, I believe. Skip ahead a little bit here. All right. Aleinu, which is our prayer reminding us that it's on us to do the work of Tikkun Olam. Let's join together. If you're able, please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, Latet gdula liatzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye ha'aratzot, velo asamanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor alinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim ubodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'nemar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol ha'aretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shamo echad. Go ahead and be seated. And as we conclude our service, our thoughts turn to loved ones who we've lost either recently or at this time in years past as we join together in Mourner's Kaddish. This Shabbat, we are mourning the recent loss of Susan Finn Dryden, cousin of Jeff and Mary Lynn Finn, and second cousin of Karen Rosenberg. And we are also observing the yahrzeits of John Jack Ammons, V.G. Anderson, Daisy Boleyn, Carolyn Bolson, Audrey Johnson Brady, Hannah Cushman, Carl Wolf DeLu, Loretta Fort, Max Milton Greenberg, Suzanne Hakkinen, Louis Joseph, Roberta Kedover Nargentino, Joseph Kodish, Stephen Lieb, Myrna Mayer, Joan Morell Greenberg, Evelyn Nickerson, Martin E. Noodleman, Ermin Polishuk, Frida Rubin, Florence G. Tanzer, and Roz Weiner. If you are remembering someone this Shabbat, I encourage you to share that name aloud with the people that you're with, even if you are not in the room with anyone else, bringing that name into the space. If you're on the Facebook, I invite you to share the names in our chat. And maybe over the next 25 hours, share some stories about the person that you're remembering, what it is that you loved about them, something you learned from them. And that is how we keep the memories of our loved ones alive. So with all those names in our hearts, we join together in Mourner's Kaddish. If you are able, please rise. Hikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, ve'amah divrach hirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayachon uvyomechon uvchaye dekol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim alinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mamav, hu ya'aseh shalom, alinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who creates peace on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, to the whole world. Say amen together. For our closing song, we're going to end with a song that we have done at Saturday morning services. So if you come to Saturday morning services, it might be familiar. It was written by Alana Arian, and it was written at Kutz Camp during their last summer, and it's based on one of the lines from Nisim B'chol Yom, from the blessings of our daily miracles, in which we thank God for making us in the image of God, creating each of us B'Tselem Elohim. So we are going to join together with Josh. Very catchy. If you're not familiar with it, I can promise you will probably pick it up pretty fast.
We're going to start with the chorus just as a refresher. So if you're at home, you can sing along. I have a voice, my voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice, my voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I will open my eyes, I will open my eyes. I will not look away, I will not look away. I will use this gift I've been given every day. 'Cause I have a voice, my voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice, my voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. I will give of myself, I will give of myself. I will reach out my hands, I will reach out my hands. I will use this heart I've been given to take a stand. 'Cause I have a voice, my voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice, my voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. don't know the Hebrew part, Rabbi. So let's skip to the next slide. Is there another slide? I will fight for the truth. I will stand up for what's right. I will use this strength I've been given to be alive. 'Cause I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. One last time. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. A very beautiful song for the time we are in right now. And I will learn the Hebrew by the next time we do this song. I didn't know there was a Hebrew verse in it, actually.
All good. It's all good. When I was in DC with Litaken, with the social justice seminar with the RAC back in February, just weeks before shelter in place, we sang this with, imagine, hundreds of teens during Havdalah sitting along the steps of the Jefferson Memorial, saying this together. It's very powerful.
Amazing.
The night preparing to go lobby on the Hill. So Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Have a restful Shabbat. Hope that you find some peace and find some renewal, so that come Sunday, come Saturday night as Shabbat ends, you are ready to go out and use your voice to change the world. See you later. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.